Assalamualaikum and very good morning, guys. Good afternoon, actually. Good afternoon, actually.
Good.
Okay, so today we have a very interesting topic to talk about, and since we just recently entered Polytechnic, I'm sorry, and the campus has been great, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I have a really interesting.
What?
So I have a really interesting topic to talk about with you guys, and this has been circulating around since we started our SPM online as well, like our online classes. So our topic for today is the most challenging issues that you guys face during online learning, and how you teach your friends as well, because not all of us are really that smart, right? So, in my opinion, I have the one that takes me on a really fine line between getting used to online learning and struggling with it is that the quality of learning, of how a student learns. Some students, they have difficulty in learning online. They have difficulty to catch up in online classes because there are lessons like mathematics, additional mathematics, sample making classes, pattern making classes. These classes, they require hands-on teaching, which means that some students, they require someone to teach them in front of them so that they can understand instead of just coming out from a camera. Another is that students fall asleep in class. They tend to fall asleep in class. They always turn off their cameras during class, and then they doze off, and whenever the teacher tries to ask them a question, they would just doze off in class. They wouldn't actually notice that they're being called out. So that's one thing that bothers me as well. It annoys me, actually. And then the last one is that they easily cheat on their exams because there are no one to supervise these students during the exams. There are no invigilators, there are no teachers around. It's just them, and I don't think their parents will be that free enough to take care of you during your exams, so they make sure you don't cheat.
Excuse me, Aisha. I would like to ask you a question. How did you sure that some students cheat on the exam during online class?
Well, based on my experience back in my high school, there's actually a case that one of the teachers actually told us that the students, they cheat on their exams by copying the answers on Google and then just straight up pasting it on on their exam papers, on their online exam papers, the forms, the Google Forms. We all use Google Forms for online classes, right? So when they copy the whole sentence, they copy the whole answers, and then they send it after the exam. Some classes, they require the students to teach others how they got the answer correctly. And if they couldn't answer that question, it's already obvious that they just copied and pasted the answer straight up from Google.
Thank you, Aisha.
Internet connections. Rural area have limited internet connections. There are rural areas such as in Sabah and Sarawak that are located in forests, and their houses are located in here in very thick forests. Second point, slow connection cause late receiving information. Some students receive classes materials later than others. Lastly, share connection with other siblings who are also studying and working parents. Cause inconvenient internet fluctuation that can cause connection to be slow.
I really like that point, but can I ask you something? Why won't the students go to the town areas to find connections, since that they can't find connections within these rural areas?
Okay. Not all students can find some position in rural areas. Nor can they find enough time or manage their time before class.
Alright. Actually, it's a good. That you have a good point.
point is cost. Some telecommunications have expensive package, and some application for online classes require better phone or laptops. For example, Teams or Google Meet needs better phone space so that the apps doesn't lag or disconnect randomly. Secondly, student can't afford to buy Wi-Fi package because it is expensive to buy it. Student also can't buy school suppliers such as items like acrylic, watercolor because it is high quality products.
So like some classes they require high quality products, so it's really hard for them to buy them out. Okay.
I want to ask you some question. Why won't the students sign up for on education loan?
It's real hard for them to pay it back, so they would rather spend their own money.
It's a really interesting point at that. One of the few issues about online class is learning environment. Usually, right, the students when they doing online class at home, there's got a lot of noise, right? A lot of noisy sound, right? Usually this happen because of family members, such as family members and a kid, and also something else like instruction, like for example, like our neighbor do something instruction like for their house. So that's how.
You mean construction noises?
Construction. I'm sorry. So that's how the noisy sound come when during online class. So my second point is student might easily get distracted by other things around us. For example, is such as video games, televisions, and pets. This is because I'm pretty sure that almost all of the students usually can focus 100% to their online class, right? Is it true? Right? It's true.
Yeah,
Right?
it's
Yeah,
true.
it is.
Yeah, I even have my own cat trying to distract me every time there's class.
Okay. Last but not least is students might feel uncomfortable because they don't have any privacy at all. Because usually when we online class, we don't know that people might visit to our house, right? We don't know what they're thinking, right? And then they usually going to come to our house when we go online class, and then the second point is inconvenience ruckus. It is because randomly, mostly our family members randomly passing by the student camera during class.
I think I've seen this before in one of our classes. I think it was pattern making classes when it was our head teacher conference that my nephew came into my room and I was screaming into the mic. If you guys remember that.
I remember that.
I was so embarrassed after that.
So that's one of the example why I say that it's very uncomfortable because he doesn't have any privacy at all, right? Thank you for that point. And as a conclusion, that they got a lot of issue about online class, such as learning environment, internet connection, cost, and also quality study. So
Can I add something as well?
I'm sorry.
Even if we still have face-to-face classes nowadays, because a lot of schools are opening, but the pandemic is still there. And we still have online classes even in the dorms. So internet connection is still one of the big problems here as well. Costs as well, because there are not a lot of students that are applying for student loans. I didn't apply for student loans either. we don't have any more inconvenient breakfast, that's one thing. But yeah, our roommates, by the way. And quality of learning, I think now that we have face-to-face classes and online classes at the same time, I don't think we have that much of a problem because, well, because now we have all our friends together, and if we have something we don't understand, we can just ask them. And our face-to-face classes are now more convenient than we are at home. So I guess I can conclude that these problems are faced greatly now that we're in campus. And yeah, I guess that's all we can. Yeah, I guess that's all we can take from this discussion. It's a really great time to chat with you guys. It has been a really gruesome 9-week push towards the finals, and we have our final assessments coming on, so I wish you guys the best of luck. And yeah, that's all from us. Thank you.